Look at that. Isn't that cool? So, hey, welcome. And thanks for that, sticking with me for that little bit of, oh my gosh, where am I? I didn't know where the lights to the room were. I didn't know where the bathroom was. It's like a whole new school. It's not really. It's kind of what we're used to, but and this is like old home week. There's so many of you I haven't seen in forever. So yay, I'm excited. All right, I decided to pick a technique each month. And for the month of September, I decided to pick print then cut because it's one of my faves. I love that we can do it, but I feel like we don't always do it that often and we don't think about it. And it comes out looking kind of flat if you just print then cut. Yeah, 7 o'clock works better for me too. I hope it's okay. I know it's early for like our West Coast girls. Jean, this is right before dinner. I'm sorry. And Bonnie, I don't know what time zone you're in right now. Are you in New Jersey with your daughter, or are you not there? See, I haven't talked to you guys in so long. Anywho, I know, Lana, it works for you too. So this month is the technique is print then cut, and that's what this class is. This is all the technique part. Then there's three more other classes depending on what you want to do. Next week is we're going to be printing on printable vinyl and Cricut printable vinyl. We're going to try both. You don't need both. In fact, remember, as always, you don't need any. You can just come and see how it works and remember that when you need it, you have it. And then the next one is printing to use on your Simple. And then the last one is taking an image that's yours and how you can print with that. So it might be, in my case, it's going to be one of Gracie's art designs, or it might be something Lucy drew for me. You never know. And then I could print that on iron-on vinyl, and it could be it could be on a little tote bag. Omaha. Oh, nice. Well, I'm glad that you're home. Good visit. That's great. Bonnie is back in Nebraska. So that's awesome. All right, so that's what we're doing. Now you may say, well, gee, that gets, that's a lot of classes. I don't know if I need them all. After this month, so starting in September, I will offer that membership bundle where you can say, I want everything that you're teaching and I don't want to pay as much. And we'll do that too. I jumped in kind of in the middle of the month, and I want to give you a quick, I promise I won't talk long about me. I have been teaching Cricut since 2008. Started in my creative classroom back when it was baby bugs. I took it on the road, all that stuff. Most of you know, you've been with me that long. And then in 2014, I became a product expert. I taught Design Space, blah, blah, blah. I joined Stampin' Up! And I did it so that I would have product to work with. But Stampin' Up! Didn't say I couldn't, but they were kind of negative about the Cricut and said, well, if you're going to run this business, you should not confuse it with Cricut. So I kept thinking, okay. But honestly, those of you that know me and have followed me along have known that I have fumbled badly for the past 3.5 years. Yeah, I've had great success with Stampin' Up! I have. It just isn't me. And I kept saying, I don't know what it is. I don't know what I don't like about it. I don't know why I'm not happy. What is it? And I would, put on my happy face and I'd do my Facebook Lives and I was good and happy, sort of. But deep in my soul, I wasn't. So fast forward to the beginning of this month, I joined a business group thinking, I need to figure this out. I thought, okay, I'll try a different design, a different direct sale company. That must be what it is. No, it wasn't it. So the first assignment in this business training for direct sellers was, who are you and what is your personal brand? And I tried to make it be that I was a direct seller, and I tried really hard. And I felt like it's somebody who put on a lot of makeup and pretended to be something else. It's like, that isn't who I am. And so I said, okay, never mind. Stop writing what you think you're supposed to write and write what you really are. And it was honestly like a light bulb went off. And I thought, oh, I don't like being a seller. I'm a teacher. That's what I like doing. I can show you stuff, but I don't like that I have to either nag you or I felt like I was pushing you to buy something so that I would make money. It just was spammy and icky, and I didn't like it, clearly. So, big decision. I resigned from Stampin' Up. That was big. And I haven't resigned from Chalk Couture, but I have written to them and said, I'm stepping back. I'm still going to be a hobby demo, and I'm probably still going to buy, except that I have closets full of chalk. I don't need any for days, months, or weeks. And I'm doing what I love. So thank you for loving it too. And thank you for coming here. And I really am excited. I've got lots of cool things to do with us and lots of different ways to deliver it. There will always be lives, but there will also be short little snippet 5-minute videos that you can, how do I do? And it'll be right there. It'll be easy to find. So that's what I'm building, is lots of little videos. If you've seen some of the ones that I've done, a couple lately, that's what's coming. So thank you for that, listening to my story. You know, when you have your first day of school, you have to hear about who the teacher is. Yeah, that's who I am. I got to make sure that, oh, Cricut's coming. And I know what most of you have been up to because I follow you. So I know what you've been doing. I know, it's definitely stalking. I saw you guys go on your, thanks, Lana. I saw you going whale watching. That was super cool. I've done nothing this summer. I've gone nowhere. Nowhere. Why won't you show me? Okay, fine. We'll do it this way. All right, I think that's working. Can you see Cricut now? Yeah, everybody can? Where'd my chat go? There it is. Awesome. Cool. Okay, we got it. All right, so a couple things. The Whisper that is in the classroom, the printable one is the wrong one. I'm rusty, and I put the wrong one in there. So if you went to print that and you're like, what? This seems really big. It is. It's the wrong one. Trust me, I'll fix it. Just after when we get done, I will upload that. Secondly, I will be uploading the recording in that classroom as well, so you can go get that when you need it. Now that we learned how to record. And okay, so the reason I wanted to come into here is I wanted to show you there is some new stuff. Cricut has changed up what they do. They do have some video playlists. I will tell you again, I don't mean to diss it, but I feel like it doesn't really help me. I was looking for something the other day and I clicked on one of these and went, no, that isn't what I wanted to know. So that's why I'm still here, because I feel like people want to know what they want to know. And you don't always get it on YouTube. YouTube's cool. You know, I tell you, it's like going to the library. And if you know what you're looking for, you can go to the card catalog and you're good. But if you don't know what you're looking for, you're never going to make it. You're just going to be lost. Okay, so these are all my projects until I've been playing. Scroll down. These are some cool things that they are now offering with a, it changes all the time, some back to school stuff. So don't forget to scroll down. Oh, this came today. My Cricut mug press came. Just telling you, that might be coming. Because I need to play with it and I need to tell you whether it's worth it. But anyhow, so let's go with new project. And we are going to start in here. Now, some of this may be review for you, but if you're like me, it's probably something you haven't used in a while. unless you use print and cut all the time, and then you may have some tricks for me. But I find I love it, but it's not something I use all the time. I don't know why. I don't think of it, but I just don't. So let's go look at our Cricut images. And this has changed from the last time I taught this class. The last time I taught this class, we could look up enhanced images or standard images. They don't do that anymore. So if you want to find the print then cut images, you're going to come over here to operation type, and you're going to click on that. And that's where you're going to find the print then cut ones. All right, so it's over there. Lana and I were talking the other day. This is what you expected when you come into Design Space, and you can still get back to this if this is what you're used to. How did I do that, right? This is what has been coming up defaulting for me. There may be a way that you can change the default, but I think this is it. But if you like the old way, you like to have them categorized, click on this green all images in the top left, and then you get this where they break it down. And the one Lana was looking for was the free this week, which they're still doing, but I have to say they're kind of funky. But let's just look at it. You know, they're kind of weird. I don't quite know why they're useful. I thought they might be some back to school ones. I don't think they're here. I don't know. But anywho, that's what that is. So I'm going to go back to, so now if I'm here, how do I get to that searchy thing? I'm going to do browse all images. And it gets me back to the 214,981 images. But I only want the print then cut ones. Oh, right? That's pretty bad when you can't live with yourself, Shannon. That's funny. I haven't done it. I'll do it like for one day if I have to do a test, you know, like a blood test, or the day I had my foot done, I had to go without coffee in the morning. I had such a headache. I was so miserable. It was not fun. No, I don't like it. Okay, so here are 11,764 images, and now you can search in here for things. Moody and miserable does not sound pleasant. And you'll notice a lot of these are old Imagine images. I love this. I think this is so cool. So we're going to work with this one. I just love the colors are beautiful. I love the flourishes and all that to make embellishments for simples, for cards. I just think that would be so cool, right? All right, so we're going to grab that one and we're going to bring it in. Now, Cricut knows immediately that this is a print and cut because they designed it that way. So we're going to talk about this one first. Remember, the limit is the size. The size is still the same. It hasn't changed. It's 675 by, I have to look because I never remember the number, by 9.25. So it's going to give me this warning over here. It also will give you a warning if you happen to have your joy selected, and it's not going to be happy either because it's not supported by the joy. Problem one. Problem two, the image is too large. And see, it tells you, reduce it right there. So, all right, I'm going to go back to my maker. No, I do not have the maker 3. We talked about that the other night in a Facebook Live, and I haven't changed my mind. I don't use Cricut vinyl, and I'm not like boycotting it or anything. I think it's expensive, and I'm not a huge fan. And the only difference that I can find in all of my reading and looking is that you can use the Maker 3 or the Explorer 3. You can use the Cricut vinyl without a mat, which is great if you do like long murals or I don't. So for me, it isn't necessary. I almost wish I had kept my Explorer Air. I have the Explorer Air 2, and I actually gave it to a school teacher friend of mine just before COVID. and she's been having a blast. And it was sitting in my closet. I wasn't really, because it was during my put your Cricut away, Kara time. So I wasn't using it, and I kind of miss it. Okay, so this has to be a square to keep everything in proportion, which we can live with that. So I'm going to change this to 6.75. If I type it right, it would be better. Notice I have no warning signs anymore. It's all happy. And I could simply pop this over to my, I can say make it. It'll send it to my printer, and it's going to cut out each one of those. Well, that's cool. I like that. And they're good size. They're not puny. But what if I needed, what if I like this guy or even this guy, and I want it on the front of a card, a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 card? Well, how big is this little baby? Let's see. We're going to use our sizing tool that we've always used. If you've forgotten that, it's to bring a square in and use that on top of your image and shrink it up to see, okay, there, it's like that and like this. And if you don't have X-ray vision to see through that black, because I really don't either, remember you're going to send it to the back. Okay, so now you can see that this little orange baby is approximately 2 by 2, 2 1/4 by 2, which isn't bad. It would take a stamp. You could write on it nicely. But if I've already got it printed, then what am I going to do with it? I'm going to stamp on it. That's all I'm going to be able to do. Okay. What if I say, well, you know what? I want to bring that piece, this out, and I want to make it a little bit bigger. Can I do that? All right, so let's look at some of our options. If we click on this, notice, let me get you out of the way. Contour is not an option. These were designed, this is an Imagine one from way back. And something just made a noise and I don't know what it was and it scared me, made me jump. So it doesn't let you hide contour. So our only choice to fix that is to use our slice. So we're going to bring this to the front. We're going to cover it up. And then we're going to make sure we got it all covered. I'm going to make this just a whisker longer. And then I'm going to select and I'm going to slice. Now it's going to do it. I'm going to pull you over, and pull you up. So now I have this. Now this little piece is going to print too, but it'll be okay. It's not anything to worry about. And I am now going to make this my height at 6.75. Well, now it still is happy. Look over here. It's still happy. It's not unhappy. So I can now print this really big. So this is going to be perfect to put on, let me get rid of these guys, to put on a simple. This is going to be great to add, to start building an embellishment. So now I could use this and maybe this. So I'm going to go ahead and say make it, and let's see what happens. It's going to come over here. This is going to be one page. This is going to be another. Now I lost that little one. If I wanted to keep that little one, I could have copied it and then sliced. But I didn't, but I could. But we're going to go with this for now. So let's see what happens. We're going to tell it to continue. Now remember, Cricut does not have a printer inside it. You need a printer of your own. Anything that you're going to print has to be able to go in your printer. So you're going to need to look at, well, what's the weight that can go through my printer and not break it and not jam it?
You want to clean up the dining room and anything?
Nope. Nope. No, thanks.
Would you like to?
No, thank you. I will get to it.
Somebody's not muted and it scared me. Not that I care that you're talking, but it just scared me. There was somebody in the room. I have a really inexpensive HP. It is an HP inkjet 3755. It was an HSN deal. It was under $100, not expensive at all. And I can print the thicker Stampin' Up! White cardstock. It's basic white now. It's not Whisper White. But I can print that in mine. It only takes one piece and I kind of have to help it a little, but it can do it. So you're going to want to see what your printer can do. When you're looking for some of the extra stuff like the printable vinyls or printable heat transfer vinyl or any of that stuff, you want to make sure that you're getting it for your printer. So if it's a laser printer, that's one thing. If it's an inkjet, it's another. So just that's going to be something that you need to check. I'm going to say, go ahead and print. And it's going to think about it. Fingers crossed it does it. There it is. So now, while it's printing, which it's doing, it's over here working, I need to find the material. So I am using just plain, simple copy paper, really thin 20-pound copy paper. So I'm going to browse materials. I am going to come up here and choose paper so I don't have to go scrolling through the list. And there is my 20-pound copy paper. Now, if I do a lot of this, I'm doing a lot of printing and I'm always using copy paper, well, then I can just click this as my favorite. The chat's in the way, and say done. And then it comes up as an option there. I'll show you the next time because we're going to have to do it again. So it now knows that I have copy paper. It has printed our larger bracketed space. And that's because that camera's not working. I would have shown you this over there, but it's not working. So we'll do our technology for another day. Now, remember though, I have to do it in the same design as what it looks like right there. Remember, Cricut is what you see is what you get. So I'm going to put this on. Like so. Okay, then we're going to load it right in. And now remember what's going to happen. And I wanted to show you what's going to happen, but it's not going to let me. What it's going to do is it's going to look at those lines. It's going to look at either side. So right now it's going to go all the way to the bottom, making sure that there's something there. And then the little light comes on and now it's looking at the line up here, over here, here, and here. And what that's doing is it's telling the blade where this is on the paper so that when it goes to cut, it's going to cut out just right. Okay, it's happy. And it's looking one more time. It's checking the bottom. It's like, are you sure? It's checking the side. Now it goes over. It looks like it's going to spit it out and yell at you, but it's not. And now it's going to go cut. Now, because it's copy paper, you're going to have to be really careful. I'm going to have to be really careful when I take it off the mat. And it's cutting this little piece over here too, which, you know, that's not a bad idea. I might do something with that. Okay, so here we go. And now it wants to print the next one. So I'm going to say, go ahead, let that go to the printer while we work on this. A couple things. We kind of went through this before. Remember what the add bleed is? Add bleed is a little extra. I can show you on this one. It gives it a little bit beyond the cut line. Can you see that there's a little bit left on this part of the paper? And the reason for that is in case it's off by just a little, it's not going to cut off the edge of your image. So there we go. We have this. Now this is just skinny, icky, thin paper, but it's still pretty cool. And then I also have this super little cute corner that I might do for something. And then system dialog. I never use it, but it has to do with what your printer is doing. I leave it unchecked. I'm going to let Cricut just do its thing. I'm not going to let my printer get involved. So I don't use it. And I'm going to just say print. And it's going to go ahead. Now, how does it know this printer? That this is the printer I want? How does it know that? Because that's the printer that's installed on my computer. So it doesn't have anything to do with my Cricut. I don't have to tell my Cricut what printer I'm using. Doesn't matter. I could have 2 or 3 printers installed on this computer, and I could pick whichever one I want. If this isn't like the Cricut or Design Space are not connected, they don't care. It's your computer that's picking a printer to print on. Okay, if that makes sense. All right, it's printing. We're going to give it a minute. Oh, it's so pretty. I love these colors. So I can see where these could be layered. Don't forget your, I mean, I may have left Stampin' Up, but I did not leave my paper roots. Remember to use your foam dimensionals. Maybe I did. Use your dimensionals or foam tape to get a little bit of oomph behind them. Add your inks. Don't forget to don't just print it out and then here it is. Printing this on sticker paper is awesome because then you don't have to use any glue, but it does work really well to run some of these through a Xyron. If I were going to use this on a card, I would definitely use heavier weight paper. Even like you could do it on like a glossy paper, like a photo paper. That would look really cool as long as your printer can do it. So it's whatever your printer likes, whatever your printer is happy doing. So it's thinking right now, the base. Now, what if I was using a different paper? So this was copy paper. What if this was on the heavier weight paper that I talked about? You can change it right here. You don't have to do anything crazy. Notice copy paper is now here as one of my favorites. And these are some of my others. I use medium cardstock for most Stampin' Up! Papers. I use the intricate cuts for the thicker, I continually call it Whisper White. It's basic white. That thicker, heavier cardstock. I use the intricate cut option. But we're going with copy paper. And we're going to press go. You'll notice that you can't do this fast. You can't use that speed option on this because it does need to think. So we're going to let it do its thing. It's going to cut all of those out, which is going to take it a little bit. Does anybody have any questions so far? No. Did everyone go to sleep? No. Okay, good. All right, so we're going to let this do this because I want it to, but let's talk about what do you do if you don't find a printable image that you want? What if you are absolutely madly in love with, did you see that cute little cow that I had in my projects? That cute little cow, that's a Cricut image. Well, we can print that. So we're going to do that next. We're going to go to a Cricut image. Shannon, my goal is to finish you by 8 o'clock, so you'll be okay. I'm not going 2 hours. We're not. First of all, I will be hot. No, I will turn the air on if it gets that bad. No, I want to be able to do these shorter and quicker so that I don't lose people. If you noticed the, oh, good. Did you notice the the design space class. I did put a coupon out for that because most of you have done it. So but it's not a live class. It's short little videos on everything. Well, it's good. And it's a new Whisper with the updates in it. And that's what I'm going to do with the opening class, that basic design space class, is keep it like that so that I can just update things as things update. So, and offset, I mean, seriously, it's worth the price of admission just to have offset. I am so excited because I constantly would design and create and sure cuts a lot so that I could have a shadow layer. Well, I don't have to do that anymore. Lana, did you get to see the new ones? I know you were waiting patiently. Oh, the offset is so cool. It really is. And the idea that they've put kerned, which is a word we never used before and have no idea what it is. Kerning is the space between your letters. So there's an option under fonts to choose just kerned fonts. And what that means is when you tell it to weld or you put them together, they're all the right space. They're not overlapped or funky. Oh, they're great. So that is a huge step forward too. I don't know if I will do new, maybe, right? I never heard, well, I heard of it in Scal, but I'd never heard of it in Cricut. They didn't care. They just called it letter spacing, which is kind of weird because I'm not sure why they decided to bring in the terminology. I don't know. And like offset, I don't know why they called it offset either. Okay, you're done. That wasn't bad. All right, so the cool thing about this is each one of these little babies is now, look at that. Can you see them? Each one is separate and it cut out each one of these. Right, so now if I had done this on sticker paper, I could just peel and stick and be done. That would look cool, but I don't want you to just take it like this. I want you to take it, add some wink of Stella, add some embellishments, add some gems. Like do this as easy as possible, but then step it up. Okay, so let's go do review. And view, and we're going to finish this. And now we're going to go back and we're going to say new. And this time we are going to go out to images. Now remember, it remembers what you were looking at, but it doesn't save your operation type because we did that. And it also didn't save it because I went to a new project. If I had just gone back, it would have come back to the same one. See, like these shells, those would look really cool. I want to just see, are those print and cuts? I think they might be. Oh, they're not. They're cutouts, but we could make those print and cuts. All right, we're going to do the cow too, but what would we do to this if we wanted to make these into print and cut? It's the simplest thing. It's so easy. You're just going to come down here and say flatten. And now when I go to cut it out, it's going to cut out each one of those little shells. Think about how quick and easy that can be. But the key to it is that you have to embellish them. You don't want to just take it out and it's going to look like a sticker of the 1980s. And we're going to go right back to our stickered scrapbook layouts and cards. We don't want that, but use it and then foof it up. Use all your handy dandy embellishments. Run it through an embossing folder. That would look really cool. All right, so let's go back to images and I'm going to search for a cow. And the cow's going to come up and it is this super cool. She's this cow. I just love her. The USA cow. So I'm going to click on her and bring her in. Surprisingly, she comes in super big. She comes in at 12.5, which means I couldn't cut her out. So I don't know why she does. But anywho, Well, I guess it would have me use it on a longer mat, but we're not going to because we need to print then cut her. So first thing on this one is you need to do your sizing before you do anything else. So I am going to change this to 6.75. And so this guy will cut. That would be fine. I could flatten it. But before I flatten, I am going to click on this and I am going to say duplicate right here. So now I have this layer. A couple options. If you are matchy-matchy like me, you're probably going to want the exact same red as this, right? So in that case, what I'm going to do is I am going to flatten and cut out each image. I'm going to print both of them. Let's do this first. I get ahead of myself. We're going to flatten it. So she's going to go print just like that. I could cut this out. The reason I want you to have this layer is you are going to layer this on top so that when you put this cow together, this is going to be layered on top of it and give it some extra foof. You could do, because remember we have offset now, you could do a couple of things. You could say offset, and you're going to go inside. And it's going to, oh, that one doesn't work very well. All right, so let's do offset right on it and say apply. And then move you. And notice it's got the holes, which is okay. Come over here to contour. I'm going to get rid of all the holes. Can I? No, you're not going to let me. Never mind. This image doesn't work for that. I thought it might. Disregard. Sorry. So now I have two of these exactly the same size. I could flatten them. I could do an offset, just a whisker bigger. A little bit, not quite so big. I like to type the number in 25. So that's a little smaller and say apply. Right. So now I have this and I have this. Let's see if we can contour this one and make it all even. We can. We're going to hide that one and get rid of all of, bring my bow back, get rid of all these little circles. I obviously got rid of my bow. Undo. So anywho, you can get rid of all your contours. But really isn't necessary. You're going to bring you back, put you on top. I'm going to get rid of this one because I don't need it. I'm going to select this. Just these, not you, just these. Thank you. I'm going to come up here to align and I'm going to center them. And now I'm going to flatten it. So this is going to print with that black. And when I put it on, it's going to pop right on top of there and really make it pop. I don't have to do that, but that's one way to do it. When I say make it, so when you're going to flatten a regular Cricut image, see how you have these two options and it'll print the two pages just like we did. When you're going to flatten a regular Cricut image, take it apart first. So let's do this again. Let's go find another one. Let's go out to images, and this time let's find This is one I uploaded a long time ago. I do love it. Let's find, oh, this is cool. I think that's one of theirs though. I have to have one that I can do. So I'm going to come over here to operation type and I'm going to do cut only. And then I'm not going to be disappointed. I'm only going to get ones that I can cut. So I'm going to scroll through till I find one that looks like what I want. Oh, let's do this one. Oh, that's one I uploaded to. Never mind. I want you to have a Cricut one. Ooh, come on, you guys. Where are you? I guess I did pumpkins too. The one I played with earlier. There's a lot of pumpkins. There was 3 pumpkins that I liked. Let's do this one and insert image. Oh, I forgot I had that there too. All right, so we have this one. Super cute. I really like it. First things first, though, I'm going to check my size. My size is good. It's 5 by 5. That would fit great on a card front. It would fit great on an embellishment, an embelly card. It would fit on a simple, I'm going to say offset. Now, what if you make it, you do the offset, and then you think, oh, it's a little too big, right? So this now ends up, this would be too big for a card. Make sure you select both of them and then shrink it down. If you want it to definitely fit on a card, you want it to be 4.25. And you want this to be 5.5. Makes it a little different, but it's okay. It's just kind of a squishier pumpkin. The reason you did the offset is to give you a place to put things once you cut them out. So this is good. This is going to cut out, and that's your shadow. It's also, I like to look at it as kind of like a puzzle back. It tells me where everything goes, so I don't have to try and line it up. This, I am going to take this green and I'm going to duplicate it. And I'm going to take all of this and I'm going to flatten it. So now Cricut's going to make it. And it's going to cut those guys out. I'm going to layer this on top of this. I could also, and then I have this, which is just a basic cut. It's just going to cut my shadow out, right? Or let's undo. I could take you over here and I could flatten just this. And then I'm going to cut this out and I can position it on top of this so that I get, this would end up being kind of a shadow too, because I'm going to pop it up. So it allows you to do lots of different things by bringing in both print and cut. Now, the only reason that you, and I talked about this earlier, is if you're matching and you're worried that it's not going to be the same, then you would probably want to print both of them to be sure that the green was the same green. But pumpkin leaves are not all identical, so it doesn't really matter. So now I have this as my shadow. I bring you over and you're going to go here. And then you are going to pop on top of that. Now it's not going to really show in here because we can't see it, but if it were popped up with some dimensionals, maybe even curl it a little bit, you're going to get some really cool look. You're going to be able to take that. And if you cut this out of cardstock, you're going to be able to take this and put tons of Wink of Stella on the top. It's not going to crinkle up the way copy paper will. You could do this out of a glimmer paper That would look really cool. Now remember, the only thing you have to do when you send it over here is, depending on what you're doing for paper, is you're just going to change up what you're using. So I'm going to say I've already printed. I'm going to pretend because I don't want you to have to wait. So this one, okay, that's a print then cut. So that's going to be copy paper. This one is going to be medium cardstock. And this one, maybe that's going to be some glimmer cardstock, some glitter cardstock. So I'm going to go out here. Again, I'm going to look for paper. And I'm going to look down through. Oh, flocked paper would look cool too. Patterned glitter cardstock. Oh my gosh, that's a Cricut. No, it's not a Cricut project. That's got to be, I put that in there. Some shimmer, some sparkle paper. That's a Cricut product. And then you'll be able to cut that one. All right. All right, so let's go back here one more time. So yes, I want to cancel. Yes, I want to cancel. So the bottom line is, either you use a printable image from Cricut, or you use a regular image and you flatten it. Or one more thing, what if you've uploaded an image? What if you have a picture of something that you have uploaded, like your cat, or something that you found on the online? Can you make that printable? Sure. So let's go to Google and let's look for, it's National Dog Day. So we're going to look for a dog. And we're going to look at images. Oh my goodness. We're going to, of course, take this because he's super cute. Oh, it's even better. He's an easy one to do. I'm going to save him. Save the image. Remember, you have to think about the copyright of all this stuff. I don't get into it. If you are doing this for yourself, I don't think the dog police are going to come get you. If you are doing it and then you're going to try and sell it, well, now they may not like it. So this isn't really part of the print then cut, but we've done this before, and I think you guys know. We're going to upload an image, browse, and we did this on the desktop, and that's our dog. Open. Now what's cool about him is he is pretty simple, because almost all of him is over this transparent background. So I'm going to say simple, continue. And I just need to get rid of this part right here. And maybe this. That looks pretty good. I mean, I can make this a little smaller. I don't think I need to get too carried away, but you know I will. Okay, so I'm good. I'm going to say continue. Look, it gives me the option to print then cut right here. I don't even have to think about it. So I'm going to choose print then cut, and I'm going to upload it. Bring him in. So what this does is it opens up a whole new world. You can now use your photos. He's going to be fine. And he's going to cut out the cutest little dog you've ever seen. You could also do offset with him. What? It takes it a minute. If the apply isn't here yet, just give it a sec. See, it's working up here. I think it defaults too big, but it's okay. It's still too big, but it's okay. We'll take it. So now we have this. We have this. What if we took this, duplicate it, flip it, line these guys up. I do that wrong every time. It's horizontally. I know that, but I do it wrong every time. Center horizontally. Weld. Pop in a little score line if you want. Right here. Attach. And now you're going to have the cutest little card. Why is attach not happy? What? Oh, because it thinks it's printing this. I'm sorry. I need to change this. So good to know. When I added the offset to it, it still thinks I'm printing. I'm not printing. I just want this to cut. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to change it to basic cut. Now it's happy. No warning. So now I got this super cute little card that nobody else is going to have. I'm going to put him on the front of there. I'm going to print it out. And we're good to go. I could even write something on the inside. Remember, you can always do that, assuming this is the inside of the card. But you have to think about, well, which way is he going to face? I got to make sure he's right. What if I want him to go the other way? What if I wanted him to be facing the other way? Just going to come up here to flip. And I can make him go the other way. Right? Isn't that the cutest thing? And so simple. I can't wait to see what you print and cut. So, ladies, again, I can't tell you how happy I am to be back. I can't tell you how happy I am that you're here. It was so much fun. And I hope that I spurred up some creative juices and that you're going to try some cool things. I want to see what you make. I have switched. I have to get ink. My printer is screaming. I'm going to stop this. And I'm going to stop this. So thank you.